I've been making Queen videos for quite a while now, and there have been numerous occasions where I have briefly discussed Hot Space. And clearly, what I said about the album wasn't too positive, because I ended up having the Hot Space Defense Squad hot on my tail. So due to this, I felt inspired to make a video explaining to you why Hot Space kinda sucks. Firstly, let's get the elephant out of the room. Why did Queen create this album? Well, this all starts with Another One Bites the Dust. With this song, they dabbled in disco, and it paid off. The track would go on to become one of the band's biggest hits. Because of this, and several other factors, the band decided to create an entire album consisting of songs that fall under the disco genre. And this is where the main problem stems from. It simply wasn't Queen. At the time, they were known for being a rock band, recognized for tracks such as We Will Rock You and Killer Queen. Sure, it would be fine if Queen only included slight elements of disco. A good example is with Another One Bites the Dust being featured on the game. However, the whole album is disco, nothing else really. Disco disco and more bloody disco. This completely disregards one of the key components of what makes a Queen album, and that is variety. For instance, if we compare A Day at the Races to Hot Space, the 1976 album clearly includes various tracks from different genres. You've got the opening song, Tie Your Mother Down. This is hard rock. Then later, there's Somebody to Love with its distinctive gospel sound. And of course, good old-fashioned Loverboy, which consists of a theatrical sound and playful piano. Meanwhile, Hot Space begins with Staying Power, and I mean, there's a pretty sweet horn section here, not too bad. But then there's Backchat. Like Staying Power, it's disco. Nothing different, but hey, we'll listen to what else this album has to offer. But no, there's disco again with body language. Do you see what I mean? Sure, there are slight variations in genre with Las Palabras de Amor and Under Pressure, yet that's pretty much it. I mean, certain tracks appear to blend into one another, which is jarring. Another point I'd like to make is that by the time this album was released in 1982, disco wasn't cool anymore. Queen had missed the boat. This resulted in Hot Space seeming outdated. Even Michael Jackson's album, Off the Wall, was released at what I would consider to be the tail end of disco, and that was 1979, 3 years before Queen's 1982 album. But this begs the question, if Hot Space was released a few years earlier, might have it not been considered a major disappointment? Well, perhaps. However, you have to remember that this album is by Queen, a band that are best known for their rock songs. Due to this, Hot Space is seen as a shocking departure from what Queen had established themselves as. The album can be seen as representing how the band had lost touch with what made them popular in the first place, losing their rock sensibilities it had seemingly all been forgotten. But if you love this album, then more power to you. It's not an awful disco album. Yet, as a Queen album, well, yeah, it's disappointing. Just compare it to the game, Sheer Heart Attack, or even Jazz for that matter, and you'll see that it's substandard. However, there are elements of Hot Space that even I can't help but admire. Under Pressure is on here after all, being remembered as one of the greatest collaborations of all time, with its instantly recognizable bass riff and astounding vocal performance. And Las Palabras de Amor is pretty good, featuring several Spanish phrases, meanwhile being a noteworthy rock ballad. Not to mention, certain tracks are especially catchy, such as Action This Day and Backchat. Though, I have to be honest with you, how can anyone like Put Out the Fire, Cool Cat, or Body Language? God, I hate that song. You would have never expected Queen to go from this to this. What were they thinking? I've heard many say that Hot Space is just misunderstood. I've even said this in the past. Yet, in retrospect, it's simply that the album sucks. It reflected how the band had forgotten what made their music so popular to begin with. I suppose after the huge success of the game, which led to Queen's peak in popularity, they felt as if they could do anything, even if that meant creating a disco album.